All right, so Professor Liu is going to teach you how to do while loop. Basically, a while loop is to ask you a block of code repeatedly. Java is different from C++, Python. Java is a little bit more powerful. All right, so we are going to show you why we do while loop, why, okay, and the scenario and the code and how, okay. So remember, you have to memorize, okay. So like you learn a language, any language you learn, Spanish, you need to memorize some vocabulary, and you learn Java too. Learn it, okay? So when one example is you keeping a running total. Okay, for example, Bank of America, and you have customer coming and deposit money, withdraw money, this, and at the end of the day, let's find out what's a cash flow. Or maybe in Domino Pizza, or maybe at 32 ice cream, any shop. Okay, so they receive cash, they pay cash, they do this, and they some. All right, then they at the end of the day they have to find out cash flow anyway. All right. So when you do a cash flow, there are two different ways. One is like a Bank of America. At the end of the day, they have a file. Or maybe it's online bank. Do you understand? The cash flow, the input is actually in a file. All right. And most like this day is in the XAML file, guys. Everybody, XAML is international computer file right now. Okay, not TXT. Okay, guys. So maybe it's in XAML file. I already have a bunch of input. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's like Domino Pizza. So Domino Pizza, or maybe like a Ralph, a grocery store, a 99 Ranch Market, a Chinese grocery store. When I'm hungry for Chinese food, I always go over there to buy Chinese vegetable. So, and they have a cash register. So based on the cash register, one register a time. Do you understand? They have to scan one thing a time. All right. So now, so let's take a look here right now. No matter what, you're going to read. So you're going to use scanner. All right. So scanner in new scanner. All right. So if you're going to read a file, all right, so bunch of file, just read a file, sequence a number, you do enter sequence of numbers. So this way, you watch the video, you'll know when I run this program, I have all the program enter in one time. Okay, I'll show you again. Okay, entering one time. All right, then so then this while is while in your input still have number, you do this, otherwise you stop. So let me show you right away. Let me double check this name is input sequence. Okay, so I'm going to show you right away. So right here, all right, so again, scanner in, you have to do that. You have to tell user enter a sequence of number. When you still have number, then we calculate. All right, so let me run this program with you right now. All right, so we're going to put number at one time, but normally this is just demonstration. You won't do this. You will read the file automatically from your computer. It's an input file. Okay, so let me do this right now. I'm going to do small number 5, 5, 10, and 20. All right, So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 number, boys and girls, and I press enter. So there's no more number right now. And so what they do is, once they're no more number, they got 5. You still have a number, 10. You still have a number, 20 now. And you still have a number, so 40 now. No more number, and they're done. Okay, so this is a way you do it, and it's very useful. You put as a input file, like, so you read them at one time, you feed the data at one time. You understand? You feed them at one time. Let's go back right now. All right, so this is called running total. So memorize this with me. Memory is on the exam. Whenever you want, because not only on the exam, you want to learn to be a programmer, so you learn the way how we do it. So we don't want you to write something to go to a moon right now. Let's write something every day in a bank, and in a grocery store, and in a pizza place will do. Everybody need to do the cash flow at the end, so you keep a running total. So when you do that, this has to be set to 0. Is okay? It's set to 0. And the update here is the input, whatever input right here, plus to your total. Memorize this. All right, one more time. Your total set to 0 first, right? Okay, then update by you add your total in, you add your input into your total. Okay, now we're going to do different way right now. You're going to keep a running total, same running total, but this time is a cash register. So when I ring a bell, when I ring a product, and I add the number in, so it's input one number at a time right now. So when one number at a time, this is what you do. This is a specific while loop we're going to do. It's very specific while loop. And when this while loop I want to come in down here to tell you this. All right. So what we do here is called pretest while loop. At a pretest while loop here, we just need to know we must need a special number to stop. All right, so a grocery store have something called Suki to stop too. So this special number for us is called Sentinel to stop the program. All right, so number one, you need to learn, okay, something called Sentinel. I will hit that key to stop. The other thing you need to learn, it's on the exam today. Memorize this. On the exam today is, if you want to do while test loop, you have to read your input 2 times, 2 places. The first place, you read it, and the name has a special name we call primary read. And this has to appear before the loop. And the purpose is used to set up the loop with an initial value entered by the user. Then you have to read it one more time. Update it, read. And this instruction will appear within the loop. In the last two line of the loop is immediately before the end of loop braces. Okay, end of loop braces. So for C++, it's a pure console program. We usually use 0 or -1 as a sentinel. For Java, we do different way. We can use like enter value and Q to quit. This is -1 to quit. This is Q to quit. But you work differently. For the beginner, you use -1 is easier because you don't need to convert the data. So let's take a look here right now. Let me see whether you can memorize this. Okay, let me see who has a good memory right now. So I want to keep a running total. Number one, total has to set to 0. It's on your exam. Total has to set to 0. Then I have to use scanner in. So this enter a double number, input equal in next double. This called primary read. Primary read. Oh, I'm going to ask you right away. This is called primary read. Okay. Now, while input not equal -1, so -1 is called Sentinel. It's a Sentinel. Oh, I type right. I'm sorry. Typo. Sentinel. All right. So negative. So as long as not my special number, I'm going to calculate. I'm going to get my total. Add my input into the total. Now this is called second read. Update read. If you don't have update read, your program will end in infinity loop. Will be end infinity loop. It's okay? So let me ask you right now. So in a Java, I want to read input. All right, I want to read input. But I'm going to read one number at a time. I don't read a file. I don't read a file, data file. Okay? Read data file is very popular, but we have different way. Okay, now we read one number at a time right now. If we read the one number at a time, okay, how many times you need to read the input? Anyone tell me? How many times? How many times? 2 times. Herbert. All right. So the first time here is before the while loop. Before the loop. Before the loop, this is called what kind of read? There are 2 read. It's called primary read and update read. Primary read and update read. So before the while loop is called what kind of read? Anybody? Good. Now, the second read is called update read. Update read. Where are you going to locate? Where are you going to put your update read? Where are you going to put your update read? Anybody? Tianjin? Let me know. Tianjin. Where are you? Inside the while block at the last 2 statement and right before the close while braces. Is that right? Everybody remember that? Okay? Everybody remember that. So let me run with you right now. It's okay? Let me run this with you. I don't want to run every single one, but some of them is important. I have to run them. What's this thing called right now? Let me see. Too many things. Let me see. All right, I think it is one. All right. So now, all right. So scanner in right here. Line 13, line 14. One more time. Line 13, line 14. I am going to read my data first time. First time. So this is called what kind of read? Can anybody tell me? Let me ask somebody. So wake up. Let me see. Steve, are you there? Steve, tell me what kind of read is this? Steve? Hello, Steve? Obviously already do something, okay? Silas? Noah? Line 13 and 14 is called what kind of read? Hello? Anybody? David, thank you. Primary. All right. Now, so these 2 lines, we copy here, these 2 lines, and we put right here. Exactly the same. No, there's no difference. But this line, this read is called what kind of read right now? This read is called what kind of read? Update read. Yes, update read. So primary while the input not equal -1. -1 is called what? Special name, -1 is called what? What's a -1 is called? What's a negative? Oh, sorry. What's -1 is called? Sentinel. Thank you, Carla. All right, let's run it right now. So I'm going to run as Java application, and I'm going to say this. Okay, so think about this is in the grocery store, rough grocery for all something, or any grocery, or Costco. You go to Costco a lot. Okay, let's buy a milk. All right, $3.99. Okay, let's buy a roll of toilet paper, $10.50. Let's buy a chocolate. Okay, so $15 for the Christmas time. All right, so when you're done, your cashier will key in a special thing to stop the way ready for next customer. For this one, what the cashier should put? What the cashier should put to stop this for the ready for next customer? What's the -1? So the cashier will put -1 right now. All right. So for this customer, it's $29.50. So they're ready to get the money from you. Do you understand? Yes or no? All right. So Java is a powerful program. You can read online data file, and you can as a cash register one at a time. All right. So that's coming back right here. So very useful thing is coming use a running total. And there are other things I probably won't show you the video now because I show already. And download this file. I gave you the file. You can run by yourself. Very important thing is find out lowercase, uppercase, find out special character, this and that. Okay. So in the Java is a application used online. Think about online what you're going to do. Online you do a lot of things. Is that right? So online probably you find people's initial by their names uppercase. Okay, once they uppercase and that retrieve there's a initial. All right. So for example, I have a program here, Rio Hondo College, right here. Look, you also need to learn something. When we do this kind of thing, we want to do specific. For example, you know, in the internet, we ask you to provide to do the password, and they give you specific, and your password is wrong. Something will tell you what's wrong, but what they do is usually have a boolean. Memorize this boolean called false. So it's not fun. So once we found, we want to be very specific. Once we found what our thing, we stop. We save time. We want to stop. Once we found, we stop. Okay. Or we not found is we haven't reached to the end of the input yet. The Rio Hondo card, we haven't end up here yet. So these are your requirement. Two things. So what you do is you read a character at a time. Well, the first time I read R, but I wanted to check if this is lower. So R is not lower. So fun is still true. Okay. Now else I'm continue right here. Continue. Then when I finish, for this they will find out I is the first lowercase. I is the first lowercase. But I had to do +1 because your string is an array. The index starts from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and this program is also very helpful in the your Java application. Look another one. All right, look another one. So this one is very similar to your example I just show you. The thing is, this example, I want to add a if-else statement to prevent user to enter invalid. So if I ask user to enter your grade, but your grade is between 1 to 100, I really don't want you to put 500,000 to bother me. So I'll use a if and else statement here. All right. So if you out of my range, smaller than 1, greater than 100, I'm going to block you. I will not allow you to continue. As a program, I'm going to stop you. There's a line we draw as a programmer. They have to stop. They cannot go on. We tell them, hey, enter a number. Then once you pass this, you pass the rule set out by programmer, you can add. All right. So you still have the same thing. You still have the same thing. Primary read and compare to the Sentinel and update read still have the same thing. All right. So we're going to have another example. Is pretty useful thing is check whether you have a repeat number. This is super useful to sometime. For example, if we want to do superlato, okay. Superlato doesn't allow you to have duplicate number. So how we check that? And same thing, you enter a bunch of number right there. Then if the number is equal to a previous number, we're going to duplicate. We discard it. Okay, we discard it. So this is also useful thing when you are deal with a web application. Now, very important right now, I'm going to show you is this. Okay, I'm going to show you this one more time. Very common loop algorithm is you are going to use a Sentinel. You're going to use a Sentinel. One more time, two ways for Java to use Sentinel. One is you use 0 or -1. The other one is Q. If you use -1, we already saw that. You use -1 to quit. But then when you read as next double. You read the data type you needed. And you compare to a data. If you are going to use Q, you are going to use Q. Use Q, guys, it's more user friendly. Okay, you see this a lot, and really is the most popular way. You use Q. All right, so enter value Q to quit, because then you don't need to do next whatever, use Q. Okay, or whatever the grocery store design, whatever. But you have to pay attention here right now. Q is a string. So you're going to read everything as a string. Then, we don't care the uppercase or lowercase. You put upper or lower as long as not Q. As long as not Q. Oh, this is Q, we done. Q, we done, otherwise we do the work. All right, so check this right now. So this question is actually your classwork. Okay, your classwork, I remember, is probably number 1. You use a Sentinel -1. So you right here, you have a total here. Let me double check. Yeah, you have a total sum equals 0. We have average, we have counter right here. Then we have primary read, we have update read. Now we are going to do as a Q to stop. So let's pay attention. How do we use Q to stop? When you use Q stop, so you enter number, enter Q to quit. So we're going to do that your example 1 here, but let's take a look here. Okay, so the total 0, but when the input right here, I want you to put the input as two variable. One is string str input, one is double dbl input. So when you read here, you read the string. In the next, you do string. Then you're going to say this. As long your string and ignore the case is Q. And number one first, I have to convert my string to become double. Otherwise, I cannot accumulate total. Then I do the exactly same thing. This update read. This one is more popular and more people use this way, and it's more user friendly. But as a programmer, you need to convert data type. So I'm going to show you this one with you. So, all right. So I am going to do this one with you right now. So we have two variables, string input, dbl input. And when you read into the string variable. When you read into the string variable. All right. Then we are going to check if that's not a Q. Then you work. The number one line you need to work is you have to convert your string to a double. Then you are going to accumulate the total. So this line is your primary read. This line your secondary read. And this time your Sentinel is a Q. And notice your Sentinel is a string, but your input number is double. Okay, let me run with you right now. So run as Java application. All right, so let me do a double number. So we buy $12.50. All right, so we bought let's buy a box of tennis ball. Costco sell that. All right, so let's buy a cake. How about that? $5.99. Okay, now there's nothing to scan right now, so you put Q. Notice I put lowercase q. Is that right? But it stopped right now. So the ring the bell, $58.04. All right. So this is more user friendly. This is more used in cash register. All right. So, but as a programmer, you need to notice you have to convert data type. All right. So which one is better? Of course, this is better, but more work. But once you learn it, it's easy. Is that right? Once you learn it, it's easy. All right. So next one, we are going to use the negative one or use Q, whatever you want to do it. Display even or odd. And this is your number 4 program. Every single question, I try to give you the solution here. It's a new concept. It's a lot concept. So I hope you like this concept and practice on that.